Okay, tough subject today. Maybe tough's not the right word, but it's a challenging subject, and it's a challenging message, and I think it's an important message. And I've come at this one several times in the past, like I have with multiple messages, but as I always say, there's things that happen sometimes in my life and other people's lives that I'm associated with that make me want to readdress certain things. This one is very important because we're talking about our kiddos. Some of you may not have kids, but most of you, if you don't have kids, you will have kids at some point. Some of you may never have kids, but you know what? You're around kids sometimes, and you play a big role in the life of kids. There's not a single person that will ever listen to this message on the face of the planet that doesn't have some ability to influence and help their own kids or other kids that they're going to spend some time with. Coaches, teachers, aunts, uncles, kids in your neighborhood, kids that you're going to be around kids sometimes, and our actions around them are extremely important. Now, I'm going to say this up front because I don't want to forget this. This is very important. Nothing I say means do I want us to pull out the spirit in kids. My gosh, I'm one of the most spirited kids. I'm an adult kid still. I've got so much spirit, passion, desire. I have an opinion on a lot of stuff. We all do. That's normal, and thank goodness that we do. That's why so many epic things happen in life. That's why so many wonderful things happen, because the kids in our world right now, they are our future, just like we were the future at one point in time. I'm kind of living in the middle of that old future that people used to talk about. So with that being said, this is the reason for the message. Moms, dads, some of you make excuses for your kids. I'm going to hit you real direct. For whatever reason, people find themselves, and it's not always moms and dads, it's family, grandparents, friends, just people in general, make excuses for kids. But more times than not, it's moms and dads. Coaches, teachers, future bosses, future employees, blah, blah, blah. They're not going to make excuses for your kids. You know, when your kids are being a pain in the ass, many parents, well, they're tired. Well, they're hungry. Well, just personality clashes. Whatever. It's a freaking excuse. When things aren't going, the routine was knocked out of whack. We don't need to make excuses for our kids. I'll argue that with everybody. I don't care what the situation is. They need to deal with hardship. They need to fail. They need to fall. They need to get freaking dirty. They need to not know the answer. They need to be able to freaking work through challenges. They need to learn how to respect and associate and communicate and mesh well with others without us making an excuse why they're not doing it, why they're not doing a good job at that at the current time. If your kids, especially if your kids hear this, if they hear you using the excuse of, well, they're tired, well, they're hungry, well, there's just personality clashes. I could go on with 100 analogies, these excuses that we come up with. If they hear you saying that, man, they're going to feed, they're going to control you. Go back to what I said. I don't want us to pull the spirit out of our kids. But they have to learn how to respect situations. Kids need to learn how to show their passion, show their energy, show their frustration, show their desire, but do it in a professional, respectful manner to the situation. Trust me, they're going to snap their fingers. We're going to be taking care of their grandkids, but they're going to snap their fingers, and they're going to be either being led or leading groups in the workforce. It's going to happen. And let me tell you something, when they are professionals, you know where they're going to have a greater chance of, you know what role they're going to be sitting in? The leadership role. If they're a pain in the ass, they ain't going to be sitting in the leadership role probably. They're going to have a hard time making their way up the chain of command. Okay, bam, I hit you with it pretty direct. it's a pain in the ass sometimes when they're being little butt heads, piss heads, whatever you want to call it. They're like it. They're like that sometimes. My kids are like that sometimes. It's a pain in the butt, but you have to alter your world sometimes for 5 minutes. And it means, you know, some of the things I've done. My wife and I have left restaurants. We've come home. We've suffered from having to coach them in the moment. I've spent hours and freaking hours on our front porch when my kids are younger, coaching them on the front porch. When they're a little butthead in the moment and they do something that's outside the guardrails, now if they handle it professionally, they speak their mind and their opinions, and they do it in a professional manner that meshes well with the situation versus being a little a-hole, I give them a freaking high five. I don't care if they're 100% wrong. I'm gonna high five them and like, listen, you're wrong, but I like the way you handle that. I like the way you expressed your desires, your opinions, your point of views. But if they're a little butthead, we're going to the front porch and we're talking for 20 minutes. Now that takes time out of what I'm doing. That's an investment. Okay, I've never been a big fan of spanking or physically hitting my kids, but I'll damn sure hit them in other ways. I'll damn sure smack them around. Not physically. We're gonna smack each other around a little bit. We're gonna go out and we're gonna lay things out, and they're darn sure gonna know how things need to roll. This imperfect person is darn sure gonna coach them on the travels of my life and how to treat people in situations and how to be somebody that people want to gravitate towards versus gravitate away. Okay, so probably about 50 to 75% of people listening to this are knee-deep in the situation of raising kiddos. I want you to hit those pause buttons that we talk about. I want you to flush the green, hit the pause button, and I want you to invest in your kiddos. Because other people are going to have to be investing in them. Because they're going to be going to school, they're going to be coaching them, they're going to be teaching them, they're going to be leading them. And hopefully your kids are going to be coaching, teaching, and leading after they've been coached, taught, and led. And in summary, every one of you, no matter how good or bad you're right now, every one of you want kids that people want to gravitate towards as they navigate this awesome journey of life and then eventually go on and leave the house. I know you want your kid to be the type of person that people want to gravitate towards and be led by and be coached by and be in the presence of their awesome energy and the presence of their approach. So, you know, the elementary way to look at it, you don't want your kids to be an unprofessional pain in the butt. Now, it's good to be a pain in the butt, and it's good to be edgy and show your passion and energy, and I could beat that I don't want to beat that to death, but I need to beat that to death a little bit. Those people are game changers. I'll never change who I am. I'm going to freaking always bring energy and passion, and I'm going to bring it my own way. But I'll always treat you with respect. And we may be in a meeting somewhere and I totally disagree with what you're saying and how you're saying it. Unless you're trying to physically come over and whoop my butt, I'm going to respect you and wait my turn. And I'm going to hit you with my opinion when it's my turn. And I'm going to do it in a professional manner. And we may go head to head and it may be a serious debate. But I will do everything in my power for that situation to finish out when it's done, for us to respect each other, us to collaborate. So there's a fine line in all this. But I want you to listen to this one. Listen to it often. This is a big one for me. And I got to keep it under 10 minutes. That's my rule. And I'm 9:15 in, so I got to hurry. I love you guys. And I care for you very much. And that's the reason for these mental conditioning videos. And things happen in my life, and I just feel the need to pass things on and serve you any way I can. This is a big one. This is a direct one. So I hope I mentally hit you a little bit. I appreciate you letting me in your life a little bit every now and then. Much, much love. Live, love, laugh, and serve big. Have an awesome remainder of your week. Much love.